All right, so I want to address this one. I have seen it a ton lately. The question has come up is, what should I do when my clients are a no-show? Now, this can be for a number of reasons. One, a client can just be busy. But in several cases here recently, I've seen that the financial coach, has reached out to people a number of times. They're not returning emails, they're not returning phone calls. They've already prepaid, and they aren't showing up for their second appointment. And I'm going to tell you, this is going to be a painful video because there is a reality about this. And I've had no-shows too, or I've had people ask for refunds. What ends up happening is that you have created negative value. That's it. You have stunk in that appointment. And what's funny is that I think there's a lack of self-awareness here, because in some of these cases I see people, we had just an amazing session, we connected, we had a bunch of eureka moments. Well, I'm just telling you that the reality is not. And here is how the math works on it. If a person, let's say, has prepaid you for 3 sessions and then shown up for the first one, and they are not showing up for the second nor the third, what they have said is that the pain of me losing that money that I prepaid is less than the pain of me suffering through a future session with you. And so you have created negative value, not just no value often, but negative value. For some reason, they did not enjoy it, no matter what you thought they took away from it. And let me tell you, here, this is totally an aside, but in terms of surveys and satisfaction surveys and net promoter scores and things like that, we never have the coaches ask that. You know, if you're telling people that you had a great time and they're telling you you had a great time, and then you're asking them what was the best part of your connection, they're just gonna lie. They don't want to hurt your feelings. But I tell you what, we only use a third party, an independent person or an independent company, to ask people what their satisfaction is, and we'll get very interesting responses at that point. You know, what you'll do by using an independent person is get really frank, honest responses, which is going to help you grow and help you focus on the things that aren't so good in your practice or kind of in your particular method. But asking people and just reading it yourself is not the way to do it. And so that's kind of an aside to help you grow and become more self-aware of what you need to work on. But if they're not showing up, it is not a mystery. That is them telling you straight up, it is not worth me being with you. And so this is a really good opportunity, I think, and we'll chalk it up to a learning opportunity, that you probably brought in some money. Your hourly is probably better than it should have been because of that. I don't know that you have to give them a refund for it, but you probably need to ask yourself a couple of questions. What did I do wrong? And to be really honest, if you wanted to be very reflective about it, is this even the right business for me? Because there's not a lot of services that I would pay to not go to. Here's a quick story. I was asked to go to a charity dinner, and the ticket was $150, and I knew I didn't want to go. This was a startup, the first event for a very grassroots organization. The event was going to stink. I knew that. I knew the people working on it. They had terrible speakers. It was going to be long. It was actually not going to be a good networking opportunity. They didn't sell very many tickets. Really, the only thing they needed was the $150. And I could have gone and gotten a $15 dinner that night for $150, but I would have had to suffer through 3 hours of useless, droning presentations that I didn't want to see. The cost of me going was greater than the cost of the ticket. And so I was a no-show. Now they got my $150, but in that case, I was happy to give them the $150 and not have to go. I would have paid $200 to not go if they said, hey, if you do buy the ticket, you are obligated to be there. So I'm just telling you that they have made that decision in their mind for themselves. And if you're wondering about it, wonder no more. The answer is obvious. Now, if you're dealing with the occasional no-show, and we certainly have a no-show rate as well, you know, there are a lot of things that can happen. People are trying to reschedule. It's just not a top priority. They get busy at work. You know, you will probably have some no-shows. So I'm not saying to take everyone to heart. But if you have a no-show that you're reaching out to and trying to be proactive and trying to figure out more, and they have prepaid, very, very clear what that means. That's it.